Ah, gee, that means that this should actually be a little bit lower, but oh well. Really? Tree in my way? There's always going to be a tree in the way. Well, one thing I know is that I should probably have a relatively sufficient number of, these. At least for this line, anyway. Like, trees. Trees are the enemy, the ultimate enemy. Oh, hey, you have power and you're moving. I should need more modules. Yeah, I do. A grenade a day keeps the trees away. Yes, absolutely. If only I had extra grenades. I don't have grenades. Or do I? Are they still used in mill science? Because then I do if they are used in mill. I thought they were used. Are they? It's the piercing magazines and walls and aluminium plates and lead. Not grenades. Not grenades. Okay. Sure. Fine. This is okay. What is next? I'll go ahead and mark that done. Just because. Alright, automated factory Mark IIs. 5. Here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 solid inputs. On Mukmo food. When I do that. This is just the regular food. The quality food uses 10 plus. That's the thing. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is going to be this. This is going to be done like so. That's actually going to be the output belt. Screw it. I will long-hand it and solder the output belts. And I'm making sure I have space for the doohickeys power poles. All right. So, sharing. I don't need any further of anything. So all of the stuff that is being consumed here doesn't consumed anywhere else further down the line outside of salt. Also, again, noting this is a lot of salt. This is a lot of salt. However, it is less than a lane of salt. I want the salt to be on an internal one, not the outside one. The outside one can be tin and tufa, I suppose. Red belts are 2 yellows, yes. Each lane is a yellow. So yeah, it is a bit small, and this doesn't I don't think it has a UI scaling on it on the Hell mod menu. Anyway, maybe it gets scaled through general UI settings. I don't know. Let's see. What's next? Oh no, I need more than a yellow belt of salt. I need 25-ish per second. It's less than a red belt, more than a yellow. Muckmo 3, I guess, as I work my way through techs. Not like I plan on using quality food for anything, but or how about Yadles? I don't know. No. How about these guys? Dingrit food? It requires Yadles. But it is a Dingrit food recipe and unlocks the Mark II. Yeah, I will take this one next. It's 26, 5 point something, 25 point whatever total. It's here. 25.65. 25.65. Alright, I was thinking about so sap and moss, I guess, and then I guess it'll be seaweed and salt in the end. So seaweed and salt. I guess this can be salt. That's moss. That's what now? Something general. I don't know. This can be the... You know what? This is going to be the combined tufa and tin. That's what this is going to be. This is going to be tufa and tin. And I'm going to combine these onto the same belt so that when I bring it down to here, I don't have to worry about it. Just as long as I remember that this line needs to be 2 for tin. Which, oh boy, that would be real bad if I don't actually remember that. This will be like so. Seaweed, and this, of course, is the salt. And the salt will continue. Just going to assume I'm going to have stuff next door. So the stuff next door is going to be a bedding that I guess I will combine with food. I guess I'll combine bedding with food. How am I gonna do this? I guess like that. So now I have to remember that this is bedding. Bedding! And is that all the inputs? Salt, tin tufra. Ah, flasks. Flasks and silver. Flasks and silver. They can also share a belt, and they'll be, again, right next door. And they'll be there. Okay. And then there was water. So that can be considered done. And then there was the need for water barrels, which, yeah, it's a few. It's 23.08 on the water. Ah, boy, how am I even going to do this? Filled with water. Where are you? Here. Not that one. That's wastewater. Filled with water. Make barrels. Have things. Have steel. Beautiful, glorious, wonderful steel. Let's, generally speaking, ignore that I need to bring back said barrels. Ta-da. How to bring back said barrels? Oh yeah, power. Power is good. I like power. Power is a pretty good thing to have on occasion. As long as I have the power poles for it, that is. Have I done all of the power so far? Yes. That I have. I just need to make sure I put down that. That'll help if I overproduce the barrels. As if that could ever happen. Barrels will share with salt, but that needs to be a split that happens on each line individually. So the barrels, this is salt. And since these don't continue, I can put the barrels, like, right next to. In fact, it's easier if it's not directly next to. I have to think about, hey, I could probably do it a lot more easily if I had something along those lines. So that works quite well. I just need to make sure that I have the, and it doesn't really matter where this lives. I guess here, just for simplicity's sake. But yeah, just so that it's doing that and that going down. So that's that. needs to happen on each line of the Muckmo. You get the empty barrels back, and it's 1-to-1, so it's a closed barrel system uh, for all of the animals. You just need to make enough barrels to move on the belts, as well as exist in the machines at all times. So once you have a sufficient number of barrels to properly run, you won't need to add any more. And there is such a thing as having too many barrels in the system and getting clogged because of it. Which is why I've added this chest, just in case we produce a few too many. But even the chest will get to be too crowded if I have way too many. Alright, that is all of that taken care of. That leaves the actual Muckmo pastures. We've arrived at the Muckmo pastures. Huzzah. They are in my car. They are in the vehicle. How are we going to divide 66? That is the question. How shall 66 be divided? Well, of course there's 2 lines of 33. Let's ignore having 33 as a line. What is 66 divided by 4? 16.5. That's not good. 11. Yes, because let's have 6 lines of 11. I mean, I could. So Muckmo are unique in that they are 16 by 16 buildings. So I think I may just do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that is 11. What I'm saying is 11 of them is approximately as long as these 12. Yeah, yeah. So having 11 of these is basically 12 augs. So we have the width there of the augs. Oh, it's just big buildings. That's all they are. Oh, I need more. Modules! Wherefore art thou? Modules. There we go. That's modules. I like modules. Modules are awesome. So, yeah, it's 6 lines of 11. That keeps the number of lines even, which helps a lot, actually. We've got 2 input, 3. 2 inputs, 1 output for the particular recipe that I am using, which is this one. This is Muckmo Calf 3. I am not doing Muckmo Calf 4, because Muckmo Calf 4, the only thing that you gain is 10 seconds of craft time by adding raw fiber. You only save time. And when you consider the infrastructure required to make the raw fiber, it's larger than the savings that you get in terms of the number of Muckmo pastures. So yeah, that is why. Now, could I look at quality food? Would quality food be useful? I have to look at that still. But again, you have to consider the space required to make quality food. And then definitely not going to add raw fiber and salt with that. So it would ultimately compare this one with the food recipe that I'm doing. This one, 3 versus 6. which, you know, 3 is 130 seconds and gives you 3. 6 is 120 seconds and gives you 3. So again, is going up to quality food worth 10 seconds? Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Will going from regular food to quality food ever be worth a 10-second time save? Yeah, a whole 2 less salt as well. Meh. I would imagine salt is also in the quality food. What even is the quality food? Let's have a look. Oh hey, it's 10 salt. Yeah, so the quality food: biomass, sap, biosamples, moss, renea, seaweed, tufa, tin, salt, and steam. So while the recipe itself is 2 fewer units of salt than the previous recipe, the actual food itself is using the remaining salt. Okay, let's get the belts sorted. Actually, I built that whole line out. It's not actually going to really look like that. This is an odd number, though. It'll be fine. It shall be fine, because the way that I'm going to build this is going to not... It's going to look like this rather than like this. Alright. And of course I'm going to use undergrounds, so I'm not going to have enough stuff anyway for it. Yeah, I need to make sure that the salt and barrels are on the inside lane. That's the only thing I need to, like, quote unquote, be sure of. Thank you so much for the follow. That is the only thing I need to be absolutely 100% certain of. There we go. And what I'll do is, once I have the power poles in, it's just a copy paste all the way down the line. No. I am not correct. That. So, again, one very key thing to note is that Muckmo pastures are 1 tile larger. 1 tile larger here. That does mean you can go on the internal just fine. I will do that. That's how that will work. Yes. And that doesn't need to exist there. So this, I think, works. I think it works. And then that one. And then power. Add will that? Yes, it should. Oh, right. And then, you know, of course, the output as well will need to look a little bit like that. Okay. Theoretically, very, very theoretically, I can now paste down all of these things down this line of 11. I will not have sufficient stuff, by the way. I will not have enough power poles, and I will not have enough underground belts. See, I'm already out of power poles. Nor would I have a sufficient number of the modules in total and the inserters. So it's like, you know, everything. I will have literally nothing in sufficient quantities. But yeah, it's just copy. Is it as simple as? No, it is not as simple as. So, I wish it was as simple as just placing this down. Now, I could do it this way, or I could do it differently. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So I'm not worried about the outside ones. I'm worried about this inside scaling. Yeah, so this just means if I place this down here, for example, you see the issue? You see the issue? That's the issue. So these are not in the proper spots. If I want to keep that, I could add another line of stuff here. If I really wanted to, I could add another one of these lines and expand it another, but I'm going to choose instead to actually have it like that. Is that aligned? Of course not. So this way I can just paste like so. There was a rock in the way. Now, how about the next line? Well, that... Well, the next line is the last line. And the last line is... Or, no, that's half... We've built half! Hey, we're halfway there. The next line is this. Excuse me. But I said the next line... Actually, I could just copy this whole thing. This whole thing. Yep. Sounds good to me. Remember what I said about not having enough underground belts. So that's those. The next line is this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I have to think. Thinking a lot. Actually, no, it's the same thing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah. Yeah, the next thing is this line. Yeah. That's it, right there. And that will be 66. And then we'll be done. Ish. Still lacking modules. Still need to do the actual logistics work here of feeding all of these. As well as, you know, getting the rest of the steps done. Going all the way into the caged Mukmo and such. But for now, it is time to restock on some stuff. Granted, I do have some stuff in the vehicle. It's not enough. It is, frankly, nowhere near enough stuff. Oh, yes. So, this would be a good time to mention that I have the Change Map Settings mod installed. I have finally done so. Finally have I added Change Map Settings, which will allow me to do something that I've been meaning to do for a very long time. And that is to scroll down to... Where is it? Where is it? Raw coal. There it is. There's that raw coal. So, raw coal was set to 0.25, 0.25, and 6 richness, so it was already set to max richness. But I need to set it to the coal settings. Where's the coal? The actual coal? I guess it's just gone. It just doesn't exist as a resource. Right. Right. So what's the iron setting? What did I set iron to? Iron is set to 1, 3, and 6. 1, 3, and 6. I actually set the, I actually reduced the amount of regolites that I have. I actually reduced the regolites. I can't believe it. And I definitely reduced the oil sand by a lot. And look, I set all of the reserves to 33%. And the rocks and such. But except for salt. Salt was higher. The big rocks were down to 0.5. And yet I still have how many rocks? How many big rocks are there? There's tons of big rocks, and I have it down at 33% output. Or prevalence on the map. Frequency. But yeah, this rock hole needs to be brought back up to 1.5 and 3. Bit more than 1 on frequency. 3 is 300% size. Maybe just leave it at 1. So same as the iron. And then I just hit apply the settings. And it will apply it to new chunks. So basically, the map that exists is the map that exists. But any new chunks that spawn will now spawn raw ore in it. It's also going to try to spawn regular coal, but it'll just error. So, yeah. Immortal has returned! And missed a fair bit. I am right now, at this moment in time, messing around with the Change Map Settings mod. which yeah has things. Let's make it so that I can actually see everything. So yeah, no water, no water. Uh, yeah, about that on the trees. Maybe I should make that 0. Maybe I should zero out the trees. I've zero out the cliffs. There's no cliffs. Add delete empty chunks. I mean, isn't that just a thing you can do anyway? Uh, there's a command for that, isn't there? To just delete empty chunks. You don't need a mod. Pollution is off. It's stuff I just ignore. This is a way to turn biters on in the middle of a playthrough, by the way, or turn them off in the middle of a playthrough, just on a convenient UI. But yeah, I just added raw coal to spawns so that we're not busted once I run out of regular coal. Um, yeah, we're good. We're good now.